What is up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of The Single Rider. Guys, if you remember, my last video here to Universal Orlando Resort was not the most pleasant. I don't know if I was just having a bad day or what, but I'm back. Wanted to check out the crowd levels. I love Universal, you guys. You have to understand. I just felt last time with the amount of people and how many people I saw not wearing their masks, I just felt pretty uncomfortable contrasting to what I had seen over at the Disney parks. Now, are people perfect in Disney? No. Are people perfect in Universal? No. But I'm just here, you guys, because I love it. And I wanted to come over, check it out again. I'm just really super excited to do these Halloween Horror Night mazes. I love Halloween, you guys. It's one of my favorite holidays. I just like to get scared. It's gonna be awesome. This entrance here still goes down. It's one of my most favorite entrances to any theme park anywhere. Just simply amazing. With your annual passes, they are now using biometrics once again, so they are no longer checking IDs, but they are having you do fingerprints. I always like to use Despicable Me Minion Mayhem as a good indicator of crowd levels over at this park. And as you can see right now, they are doing virtual line passes, and then basically you just sign in through the app and get a return time to come back and wait in line. And that's definitely going to help with the crowding. It's almost like Universal's version of Fast Pass. Disney, if you're listening, you're probably not, because I'm a super small YouTube channel, but if you are, bring the Fast Pass back. We need it. Okay, so this first maze is The Bride of Frankenstein Lives. Good news, annual pass holders. If you have an annual pass, you can use the Express Pass line for this attraction starting at 2 o'clock on weekends or 4 o'clock on weekdays. Also, just a quick note about the Halloween Horror Nights mazes, houses. We are not allowed to film in there. I can only give you my impressions, my thoughts after I exit. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. Here we have one of my all-time favorite attractions, the Rip Ride Rocket. And did you know there is a maximum height for that ride? Funny, oddly enough, I am just barely short enough to go on that ride. I know, short enough. It's not a typical reference you hear when referring to ride heights. Usually like, oh, you have to be 40 inches or you have to be 48 inches. With Rip Ride Rocket, you cannot be taller than a certain height. Fortunately, I am just 1 or 2 centimeters short enough to ride this ride. Okay, you guys, I just came out of Bride of Frankenstein, and holy cow, you guys, I cannot tell you how long it's been since I've been into a haunted house anywhere. It just feels like with the pandemic, that wouldn't be possible, but Universal Studios has pulled it off in such a fabulous way. The performers are wearing masks. They have plexiglass in the areas where they are jumping out to scare you. And I really wish that I could have filmed, because there was at least 4 or 5 times where I screamed quite loud, I might add. And I'm not quite proud of it. It's probably just because I'm out of practice. Haven't been to a haunted house, like I said, in quite some time. But anyways, it was great. I can't wait for the next one. Let's go check out Tooth Fairy. Crowd levels are pretty manageable right now. I'm still seeing quite a few people with masks down over on their chins, basically just wearing a bib for their face, which looks even more ridiculous than wearing the mask itself, if you ask my true opinion. See if he pulls any dance moves for us. Let's see. Let's see it. Oh yeah, what's up? Oh, you're on camera. I'll make you look good. You don't need it though. Oh yeah. I can't take it anymore. You're so good. I have to stop. We'll see you guys. Okay, Revenge of the Tooth Fairy coming up over here on my left. Says it is a 15-minute wait. That is not bad for a Halloween Horror Nights maze. I'm all about it. Let's do it. Okay, you guys. Once again, I cannot film inside this maze. I wouldn't really call it a maze because it's just kind of like you go down this path and there's only one way to go. So let's just call it a haunted house. Over here in the distance, you can see the train for the Hogwarts Express that takes you from Universal Studios to Islands of Adventure. You can actually see it coming right here. Of course, you have no idea that you're just in the back lot over a parking lot when you're on it because you're inside those individual cabins. Pretty cool. All right, you guys, so I just finished the Tooth Fairy haunted maze, haunted house, and I'm sitting here trying to decide which one did I like more, the Bride of Frankenstein or the Tooth Fairy. I think the effects and the jump scares were a little bit better in the Tooth Fairy. I don't know, it's kind of weird because I feel like after riding or walking through the Frankenstein one first, I was kind of anticipating them a little bit more. But they had a little bit more like wind effects and things like that on the Tooth Fairy that I noticed. I think everyone in there is doing a great job. Really top-notch maze in my opinion. Not a long wait, super enjoyable. Only about a 7-minute walk through. Yeah, just really, really good. In fact, I think I want to go do it again. I wanted to come over here and check out some of the Halloween shirts and such. Universal Studios Fright Nights 1991. And a lot of this stuff is 30% off. They got some really cool Halloween themed garland here. Halloween Horror Nights masks. Very cool. I also wanted to point out that in select areas at Universal, they have what they call the U-Rest areas where you can sit, relax with your masks off. Also, you guys, if you are coming over to Universal Studios, I highly recommend, if you are a film fan of 80s movies, come check out the Film Vault. You may just find a few items from these amazing 1980s movies like Back to the Future, E.T., Jaws, and some other really cool memorabilia from movies. Highly recommend it, guys. Also, check out the little thing that Universal's doing this year called the Scarecrow Stalk. I can't say that for some reason. The Scarecrow Stalk, where there's several stores throughout the parks where you go find a scarecrow. This one here is obviously themed after the Mummy. And you try and find all 13 of them. And then I think you get a prize when you're done. Coming into Diagon Alley. So, this area is pretty normal, I would say. Pre-pandemic normal. If not, still a little bit less people here. So, not too bad. Still pretty crowded. Definitely no 6-foot distance between people. But how can you when you've only got 20 to 30 people, or 20 to 30 feet between side to side. Here we have Gringotts Bank, or Escape from Gringotts. This ride's hit or miss for me because being 6'6", this one's a hard one for me to fit into. But it is a really, really great ride. I love it. Depends on my current diet situation, if I fit or not. Okay, friends, just on my way out of Universal Studios today. I was able to come in for a few hours, check out the crowds, go on some Halloween Horror Night mazes, walkthroughs, and I can genuinely say I had a much better experience this time as opposed to last time. That is going to do it for today's episode of The Single Rider. Just want to say thanks again for tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe, that like button, and comment. It really, really helps me out, especially being a super, super small YouTube channel. Trying to grow. Thanks so much, you guys, for coming along. Keep being awesome. Be true to yourself. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.